Have you ever wondered how much money you can make in the car detailing business? Attention to Detail has made over $350,000 doing just that. We're gonna find out exactly how they became so successful so quick. In this interview with Notto, we're gonna find out what it takes to start an auto detailing business. We're gonna find out what kind of equipment and what kind of experience are must-haves to be successful in this industry.
Here's your basic setup. You're ready to go. I funded my business with $500, frankly.
Wow.
Right? So you can put a really safe cleaner on the leather, clean it, fantastic tool.
We're also gonna find out how Notto built his brand and some of the marketing strategies that he's used to become so successful. And we're also gonna find out how going forward, they're gonna continue to get more and more customers. What's a typical revenue in a month for you?
I think a challenge for small business owners is this. There's a million people selling that stuff.
Make sure you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let's go meet Notto. Hey guys, I'm Justice Rogers, just one of your hosts for UpFlip. I'm glad to be a part of the team, and we've got a brand new, fresh video for you. Let's check it out. Notto, how's it going, sir?
Hey, good to see you.
Tell us about how this even came about. How did it start?
Well, corporate America, I was kind of trained to do that, right? And after a while, I just said, I want to own my own show. Talked to a few people that were kind of mentors of mine, and they said, hey, the service industry won't be able to be replaced by the internet. And they said, hey, you ought to get into the auto detailing business. And I said, what's that? And 30 days later, I owned an auto detailing business.
Now tell me this, did you happen to know anybody in the business or any experience when it came to, you know, taking care of people's cars and things like that?
No. When I actually told this gentleman, I said, I don't know what auto detailing is. And he said, oh, people pay $200 or $300 to get their car cleaned. And I said, no one will ever do that. And so me and my brother just went down to the Small Business Administration, sat in front of a VCR, watched a video, and the rest is kind of history. We knocked on doors for a year and a half, starved to death, and eventually got a bit of a following. We went into every neighborhood that said, keep out, no soliciting. And we gained a clientele of people that really appreciated entrepreneurship, good quality, and good service.
Can you kind of tell us some of the equipment you use, why you use it, if you got any favorites? You know, we need to know so we could be like you.
Gotcha. Well, you know, there's lots of different types of equipment. Most people that are, you know, talking about auto detailing, here's your tool.
Okay.
And this is very basic, but it's very adequate. This is a Porter cable, Velcro backing. And so here's your basic setup. You're ready to go. We have, you know, finer pads, rougher pads. This one, feel that there. So you got a little bit of texture.
Oh, yeah, rough.
So this is going to cut a little bit more, right? So we're looking at a car with a bit of light oxidation or a lot of car wash scratches, right? And then it's just a matter of kind of, you know, getting familiar with different grades of waxes, right? And kind of saying, all right, so here's a type of wax that protects and it also polishes a little bit, right? And here's another type of wax that has quite a bit more cutting power. And they have 91 of them, right? So you got to say, all right, where's my 2 or 3? Where's my 2 or 3, right? You know what I'm saying? As you're working on a car, looking and just finding maybe an instructional video about exactly how do you put the wax on, how much is on, and then when you're done, finding a good brush to clean, etc. That process right there, that's kind of your main muscle in this business, right?
Gotcha,
okay, especially when you're talking about the exterior.
What's the price range you think for someone who's starting off and they need just one of those to get their business going?
Gotcha. That right there is probably 120 bucks. Okay. So pretty reliable brand, Porter cable, but you know, a great buffer won't replace poor experience, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So fantastic place to start with something like that.
In the beginning, what was your initial budget for the business? And has that changed with the growth that you had?
I funded my business with $500, frankly.
Wow.
Right.
$500.
And of course, when I went to maybe a van with lettering, I looked for something that was reliable, but I still didn't overspend. So many people will go and you know, get a $25,000 rig, and I went and bought a used Toyota Sienna for 4,000 bucks. bought a shop vac, whatever, right?
Right.
The budget you have to pay attention to is also that marketing budget, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of saving up for future stuff. So you always got this little bit of cash flow and whatever. I don't feel like I'm kind of like a financial wizard at it or whatever, right? But, you know, not having an extra buffer. So backup tools were super important.
Got you.
Right? Because that stops you dead in your tracks. As we're doing a detail process, right, when we walk around a car, we're going to look and just see how much Pacific Northwest is on here.
Yeah.
And over here, see Harrison's using a pressure washer. We'll use this virtually every single time we see moss.
Okay.
Because people think that the moss and the green stuff's just going to come off with a mitt.
And it won't.
It won't.
Yeah.
One of the things I think that is maybe a little trick is in between all of these letters, shadows start forming in here because of all the dirt. If you take those round detail brushes, the black ones, and some light wheel acid, spray that on there, they come out brand new.
Wow.
And it pops. It's absolutely beautiful.
That's real detailing right there.
Yeah, yeah.
When it comes to marketing, advertising, are there any specific types that you've been doing that you've seen be successful for you, or is it just one way and that's what you've been using for all these years?
Right. We've always looked for people that have that SEO knowledge, website stuff, whatever. And I think a challenge for small business owners is this: there's a million people selling that stuff.
Right.
And it can be very expensive. So starting my business, you know, I did it kind of non-digital at the beginning, but then I learned this, man. My Google reviews, my Google page, things like that were super, super important. So developing a way to follow up with customers and say, hey, guess what? The only thing that works for us is those reviews. You know, I used to, you know, give the crew a free lunch. I'd say, hey, reviews feed the crews. And, you know, and everybody like, oh, those poor boys.
Right.
People in the auto industry, detailing industry know that, you know, you need maybe some sort of all-purpose cleaner, and there's a lot of those. Here's a favorite product. It's called Zenit. This is citrus-based, very super safe, right? And we've had clients going, oh, my blue jeans, the color's rubbed off on my Range Rover seats. And we put this on there with a light toothbrush. It's come off perfectly, takes gum off, things like that, commercially available.
How much for a bottle of that, you think?
This is probably a $7 or $8 bottle. One of the things that's kind of this little trick is we always have a little lacquer thinner around, and there's so many things that get stuck on a car, or there's little rub marks, and just a little safe dab of that, and it comes right off, okay?
Nice.
That's a nice thing.
Very
but
cool.
Getting good tools, okay? So here's a grout brush. That's probably $1 at a Home Depot or something like that. But that angle on it allows us to get into corners.
What's a typical revenue in a month for you with your car detailing business here?
Right. Right now we're running 3 vans. So we got 3 crews of 2 guys. We're running about 40,000 a month.
Okay.
Okay. And we see surges, of course, you know, as we get into good weather, but then, you know, during the winter months, it's just amazing. In the middle of a snowstorm, we still get phone calls, right?
Wow.
But that kind of dips down, right, a little bit.
Yeah.
But 250 to 350 this year shouldn't be a problem at all.
Hey guys, just a heads up. If you are a business owner and you think you might need a business loan, we have some reliable lenders that can help you out. All you got to do is go to our website, upflip.com/business loans, and the link will be in the description below this video.
Dashboard, right? Vents, you know, here's a trick, okay? Most people will clean a car, but they won't take the gear shifter and put it in drive. So the dirty part right there, the customer goes, oh, they missed that. We always put it forward in drive, clean that out with the vacuum, right?
Good tip, good tip.
Yep, this is not to shine your shoes, okay, right? Okay, but it is almost like a miniature shoe brush,
Right.
okay?
There we go.
See, not that super stiff, right?
Yeah, that's good.
But this is for leather, so you can put a really safe cleaner on the leather, clean it, put some leather conditioner on there. Fantastic tool right there.
Very
okay.
nice.
So we love just having, you know, really good kind of drying cloth chamois. This is called the absorber. This probably started on TV, right? Right?
An infomercial.
Like an infomercial, right?
Yeah.
But these are commercially available. These are you know, our all-time favorite, right?
Yeah.
Great products right there.
For the people out there who are interested in starting their own auto detailing business, what kind of experience do they need? Do they need to have certain training? You know, what do they need to get off the ground?
Right, right. We're in the digital age. I think someone really could start a detail business spending time on YouTube,
Wow.
right? And then what's nice is, you know, you aren't like a Intel chip engineer. You have a car. You can work on that, right? And there's great Facebook groups. There's all sorts of communities online where you can pick up tips and things like that. And then beyond that, it's just like how to run a business, how to run your budget, things like that.
Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed part one. Notto had a lot of advice and wisdom to give about how he's been successful, how he's made it through the pandemic, some of his marketing strategies. Now, make sure you go and check out part two. Notto has a lot more for you guys to learn, and I definitely enjoyed it. So make sure you check it out.